What up, Donut Guy? We on tonight. We are on tonight. Just gotta straighten out all my stuff. Hold on, I'm trying to get Music Fan in here. Man, I haven't even been going live like that. I've been doing these videos and shorts and everything, so I needed to go live tonight, man. Probably gonna stay on assignment. Hold on again. All right. Adrian. What's going on, Adrian? It's all right. I either go live real early or real late at night. So I don't think Music Fan gonna be joining us tonight. Man, I need to shave. I've been so busy doing nothing lately, I ain't been able to shave. Explain your friend group. What's up with Adrian's friend group? We have a name, like what friend group? Oh, what's the name of the friend group? As long as you guys don't. It's a Mimi. Okay. Absolutely. I really with all due respect, but I could care less. What's going on, Melanie? Melanie in the house. Make sure my volume is up, man. So if my volume is tripping, y'all gotta work with me. I don't know what's going on with my volume, but I gotta let the phone charge for a minute, and then I can could turn on the my other mic. It's right here. I just don't got it plugged in. Man, it is so cold in Michigan tonight, man. I went outside earlier. It is so damn cold tonight, man. I don't know why it's so cold, bro. Oh, what's going on, Francine? I'm gonna have to call you Mom. What up, Mom? You talking to me, Adrian? If you are talking to me, it is 8:30 p.m. where I'm at. Yes, it's 8:30 p.m. I was trying to get on at 8 o'clock. Well, yeah, I always round the time to the nearest top or bottom of the hour. So, yeah, it's 8:27, but to me it's 8:30. Yeah, we're all on Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. Hold on. I have to see. Yeah, I think that's because I went live real early in the morning, and then I didn't even like that live. I deleted it. I deleted it. I had been up. I was tired, but we're at in California, Adrian. What? Where in California, man? Are you tapping in from? It's 5:30. No, it's 5:28 in California right now. You know, I noticed I get a lot of people from Canada on my live. So they just did something to my numbers right now. They just reset them. So now I'm probably gonna get short views tonight. Where you at? Where you at in Cali, Adrian? Right. If you're cool, huh? You know, another thing, about to, uh, I was about to send out a, a live notice. Oh, close to where you? Were you in Oceanside somewhere, bro? Is you in Oceanside? That's close to Diego. Oceanside is nice. I ain't never been though, but it's. Hold on, man. I gotta flip this. There we go. Yeah, I always wanted to go out there, man, to Diego, but I've been everywhere else though. Ain't that some shit? I've been everywhere in California. I've even been a I've even been to small little towns, but I never been to San Diego, man. I don't know why. I've even been to El Centro. Matter of fact, I just seen a messed up case out of El Centro a few days ago. Yeah, I used to live in Las Vegas, man. I lived in Vegas for a long time too, man. Oh, Las Vegas. No, no, this was about a guy that used to he knew this young girl. I don't really know what their relationship was, but he ended up unaliving her, and then he ended up unaliving her, and then he dismembered her, and the family knew it was him. And when the cops came over there to question him, he took off running. But the way that they found that it was him was they found a leg in a vacant lot. And when they did the DNA test on the leg, it was the girl that always went over to his house. And the thing was, the vacant lot was only less than a mile from his house. So they just kind of put two and two together. Although they haven't found the rest of her body. So, she was young though. She was only like 16, 15, and he was in his 50s. So I kind of put two and two together in my head. He probably raped her and then unalived her and then try to hide the body. But when you look at his mug shot, you can tell he did it. Why does my shit keep going to zero, man? Man, what's up? And now I'm saying it's only one person in here. See, they're taking my numbers, man. I already know what they're doing. They're splitting my numbers in half and they're giving the other half to somebody else. So I don't even get all my views. I don't know. I just have a feeling. It's just a hunch, a suspicion. Cause there's more than one person in here, but it's only saying that it's only one person. Now they give me two as if that's some kind of a pity number. Like, man, I haven't got all my views in the last 2 months. The last 2 months, man, they've been manipulating the hell out of my views. That's what I think. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I just have a strong, all the shit that's been happening in my life, it only makes sense. They're messing with my views. It ain't nothing I could do. So this is what I say to you. You play, no, my daughter played Five Nights at Freddy. When I go over to visit my daughter, she's always playing Five Nights at Freddy on her tablet. And she really likes it. That's one of her favorite characters, is the Five Nights at Freddy's characters. What's going on, music fan? You need to get a hold of me, music fan. ASAPZ. I need to take a walk and have a conversation with you later about this and that. Why does it seem like everybody is responding to me like extremely delayed? I've been to Disneyland. Yeah, me and my brother and my sister, we've been to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland in the early 90s. This this YouTube is making me, and I know why they doing it too. Like every time I get close to certain numbers, my views start acting up. Every single time too, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Cause I'm sitting here watching the views, and it just don't make any sense what they're doing. The head count, it keeps just, it'll go up a few numbers and it'll just drop back to zero. And I know people are in here because I'm watching you guys talk. I think that there's two accounts and somebody else is getting half my views. That's what I think. I can't even explain it though, but it is something, I just don't know how to explain it. No, because it'll say zero while you sitting here talking, Melanie's talking, and it'll still say zero. I don't know. I guess I guess I'm tripping. I guess I'm tripping. I need a shave, bro. I knew I should have shaved before I got online. All this here, I don't like this. I usually like to keep that nice and fresh. Yeah, maybe. I ain't gonna say nothing else about it. Yeah, see, mine says too. Yeah, but I ain't never seen a 45-year-old man who was naked face unless he chose to be. Man, look, bro, I got so much hair, man. Look at this. I got a lot of hair, but I ain't cutting my hair. If you look at my pictures from like 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, I was bald headed all the way until 2023. I just started growing my hair in 2023. This ain't even 3 years though. I started growing it, yeah, about 2023, somewhere around there. Or 2022, at the end of 2022 is when I officially started growing my hair back. Because before then I had dreadlocks in 2017, no, 2016, 2015, 2014. So I started my dreads in 2008. And then I kept my dreads for 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I kept my dreads for like 8 years. 7.5, 8 years. Then I cut it. And then I had short curly hair for a while. Then I cut that too, because I was trying to have my like a lineup, but I didn't like the way it looked. So now I just grow everything, right? This, you know why I grow my hair all wild like this? Because when you have dreads, people with dreads, they don't, the real dreadlocks, not these little pretty boys with dreads, right? Only, I have a few pictures with my dreads. I have two, about two pictures with my dreads. I didn't take a lot of photos with my dreads. What happened was other people took pictures of me with my dreads. So there's people out there who got pictures of me with my dreads. I just don't have any of myself because back then I didn't take no selfies of myself. So I don't have any of my dreads except for two photos. One with me and my ex, and one with another one that I had. What's going on, Jay? Jay in the house. Man, it's 8:40, man. Hey, I'm probably gonna be doing this live all the way till 11, bro. Or no, if it's about to be 9, I might take this all the way till midnight. Yeah, I might go all the way till midnight, but you know me, the thing about me is when I'm doing these long lives, I walk away from the camera and be doing stuff, and then I'll come back. But I do be walking away and stuff. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I might go smoke a cigarette. I might go use the bathroom. I might go let the dog out for a minute. I might go grab something to eat. I might go check on everybody. But I come back, but I just want to keep the camera rolling because why cut the live when before I'm ready? So I'm gonna keep the live running and everything. You know, I'm just right now I'm trying to decide what are the top stories that I want to talk about. Oh yeah, hey Melanie, so they got the guy who did the homicides, the triple unaliving. They got him. But as of right now, they're still calling him a person of interest. But he knows it. I don't have a lot of Detroit stories, man. I mean all I've ever really did out here was work, man. Like just work. Like I didn't even run the streets, or I mean I ran the streets a few times, but running the streets in Detroit is a little different than, let's say, running the streets in Las Vegas or in California. It's a little bit different here, especially if you're not from here and you don't know a lot of people. You don't just want to be running the streets. But I definitely didn't run the streets. You know, I'm probably one of those kind of people to where I run the streets everywhere I've ever been. But I just don't run the streets a lot. Because you know what? Another thing too is when I first got here, the police were hella mean to me. It's like they knew I was an out of towner, so they was like hella mean. They didn't like me. And it was probably because, you know, the cops, they be knowing everything. I'm kind of like infamous in a lot of places. Like I know this, like not trying to sound big headed or like, or nothing crazy like that, but like, what if I told you that I know that I'm bigger than what I think I am? Not because I think I'm this huge celebrity, popular. No, nothing like that. It's just I know that more people pay attention to me than I realize. And I'm going to tell you why. One thing about it is this. When people act like they don't see you, that's when you know they watching you the most. Hold on for a second. Oh man, stream got interrupted. That was the first time that ever happened. But it let me, that's cool because it let me start where I left off. Man, I was like, what happened to my stream, bro? Jess J thinks that I have a super heavy Michigan accent. I mean, shit, bro, I've been out here. Next month on the 17th will be 9 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been around these Michigan people. I'll tell you one thing, I really like it. When you have a car and you can get around, there's a lot to do out here, man. It's like a community of like 8.5 million people. But you know what? It's a lot of people that are from other places though, but like more out of the country than anything. People from Florida, people from New York, people from the East Coast. There ain't a whole lot of Westerners, but there's a whole lot of East Coast people. Yeah, um, my my ex's my ex's brother and sister moved to Missouri for a while. I don't know what city they moved to, but they went to Missouri, but he ended up coming back. He ended up coming back, so I don't know what oh no, now I'm hella ops. What are you talking about, Jay? Are you talking to me? Nobody called you the ops. You're only the ops if you act like the ops. But if you like and subscribe, you're my best friend. And one of these days, I'm gonna be on the video. I'm gonna be on the road. I'm gonna be taking. So here's my thing, right? No, and this is no matter, you know, how long it takes, right? My goal is to bring people the content that is really gonna like my goal is to bring the content that people are really gonna love. Like for instance, if I travel to Las Vegas again and I hit the strip, I'm gonna be out there live streaming the whole time. So I gotta hit the strip with a charged up phone. You know what I need? Somebody should let me know where to find one of those batteries that you plug to your phone, but it looks like a phone, right? But you can like, it's got like a little cord on it and you just, it's like a double charge to where it like puts your phone at 200%, right? So like if your phone's fully charged and you plug it in, it'll stay at 100% for like a whole night to where you could just film all night long, right? And it won't die. I know they got them, but I don't know where to find them at, right? And like if I go to New York City, I'm gonna do the same thing. Um, but there's different things. I want to visit different places, right? But right now, it's just like I don't see it. I don't have a plan because it's just a little bit of shit going on in my life that is really preventing me from being the greatest version of myself. But that don't mean I get on camera and act like I'm the greatest version of myself, because I am still the greatest version, but like I have $1 million business hiding inside of me, bro. I really do. And 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 I haven't been able to get into a position, because I don't know if anyone that's been following me for a while, they'll tell you that I started a business here in Michigan. It was going to be a welding repair business, right? I had the tools, I had the work truck already. It was just shit that I had compiled, right? I had a welding machine. I still got some of the tools. I don't have everything. And then tragedy struck, right? I got it registered. I was about to file for my business accounts, my Dun and Bradstreet account. I was on the way to having a full-fledged, legitimate, self-employed company that I could go out, write up invoices to people. And that's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to ride around town looking for work. I was going to see something, I'll write an invoice up, put a price on it, and then go turn it into the business and say, hey, I'll fix that for you for this price. But like I said, it didn't work out, man. I really believe some people were hating on me. Um, so it never really got off the ground. I did do a few jobs for people, but they were like small jobs. But you know, I had to retake the damn business address, and I had to put it. Which what I should have did was just put it on a PO box from the beginning. Is what I should have did. I should have registered the company address under a PO box name, but I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So, that lessons learned. Now the business is still registered, right? It's still there. It's still registered for under the state of Michigan. But I haven't did nothing with it because it's just a lot of shit had started to happen. So I figured that certain powers that be, they don't want you to have nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you to have nothing. Hey, ICG, let me ask you a question. You still spinning the block in your scat pack? You still punking all them Chicago dudes? You still over there on 63rd, beating on your chest and shit? Oh, you got a Hellcat. Oh, so ICG. Hey, ICG is a secret YouTuber. Hey, but how you doing though, bro? Hey, man, I respect anybody who got a Hellcat. Automatically, I don't even need to know you. You good. If you got a Hellcat, you automatically my homie just because you got a Hellcat. You could be a straight piece of shit, but because you got a Hellcat, you a friend of mine. Yeah, he said he got a red key. That's right. I forgot. He was just talking shit one night and he was like, I got the red key, pussy. I was like, damn, 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 damn. You know, I'm trying not to troll the trolls, but it gets hard out here sometimes, man. What did I do all day? Oh man, I actually didn't do anything, man. I slept all day. I'm unemployed, so I can do shit like that. I slept all day, man. I was tired though, man. I had a weird dream too, man. You know what? I'm gonna tell you about the dream. Hey, bro, I had a dream that me and my sister went back to our childhood home, right? And we went back to our childhood home, and I pulled up in the truck that I had, and my sister was in a dark colored Chevy Suburban, like a later model, like like 2000 something, right? So we go to our childhood house. Like we all grew up in this house. We didn't grow up in this house, but it was a house where we spent some of our childhood at, right? But as I'm riding through the streets of the city where I grew up, everything looked different, right? Everything looked, it didn't look the same as it did when I was a kid. So I was just like looking around while I was getting close to my childhood house, and I just was amazed how different everything looked. Now this was all in the dream, right? So finally I turned onto the street that I used to live on, and I seen the house, right? So I seen the house and shit, and I get over to the house, and the door was unlocked, right? Now in the dream, I'm a grown man already. So I get out my truck, I walk up the stairs to the porch, I open the door. Man, the house looked exactly how it did when I was a kid. Like all of our stuff from when I was a kid was sitting in the house. Like I'ma just tell you, in the dream, this is what happened, man. This overwhelming feeling of nostalgic sadness came over me. I felt so sad. I was like, I looked around and I seen like the couch we used to have, um, the coffee table, the rug on the floor. My mom used to have a bunch of brass, like she was a brass collector over the years. So she had like all these little brass she had like brass giraffes. She had brass candle holders. Uh, I gave her a pair of like these big old solid brass dice. She just had all this brass. So that was there. Then I went into the room and I seen our beds. The closet had our clothes, and I was like, this is weird. Like, this is all the stuff that was from when we was a kid. And I'm already in my 40s, so then I turned around and my sister was standing behind me, and I got mad. I was like, you're not supposed to be here. I started crying and everything. Cause I got filled with this nostalgic sadness. Like, damn. Man, us being kids is gone, and it'll never come back, right? And then I woke up shortly after the dream, and I still felt sad, bro. I was like, man. Because you know why I still felt sad when I woke up? Because I realized that the reason I was sad in my dreams is because I know that things will never be the same again. Even though that's how I felt in my dream, it's because that's the real reality. It's like, even if I went back to California right now, to that street, to that house, everything will be different. I know the house is still there because I Google mapped it a couple years ago, so the house is still there. And it was just this little house. It was a one bedroom, but when we lived there, we turned the porch into another room, added the front door to the room that was built, and then took the door off the hinges where the front door was supposed to be. And so it was a bedroom, and it was cool, man. Like my mom's boyfriend put carpet down. We used this big ass sliding glass door for a shower. So the glass was smoked out. You couldn't see through it, but sunlight still came through it. So we didn't need a curtain because you couldn't see through the window. But the only thing was, at night when the light in the room was on, if you looked through the window, you could see shadows. So you would know someone was in there. You just wouldn't be able to see who it was. But it was a cool room, man. That was my sister's room. And the craziest thing about that was my ex that I met when I came to Michigan, my youngest daughter's mom, they did the same thing to a room over at that house in Detroit. They turned it I don't know what kind of room. I think it's more like it was like a study. It wasn't a room, but like we turned it into a room. And then it stayed a room for so long that the owner seen that her son was using it as a room. So he paid some contractors to come in and remodel the whole area. So now it's a real room. It looks nice now. It's not just a study that was converted into a bedroom. But the coolest part about it is that room has a door on it too. So if you in that room, the door leads to the backyard though. It doesn't lead to the front. But I thought that was cool. In the summertime, her son can just open the door when it's warm outside and just let his room just air out or whatever. Not that his room don't stink or nothing. I'm just saying he's the only room in the house that has an actual door. No, there's two rooms that got doors, but the one upstairs leads to a balcony. I wouldn't recommend standing on the balcony. No, you know what? You could stand on the balcony because another thing the owner of the house did was he replaced all the wood, so it's stable now. Like it'll hold your weight. But before that, it was like you looked at the balcony and it was like, bro, I wouldn't stand on that shit. But I used to go out there late at night and smoke blunts and shit. At night, I would go out there and I would just sit down, shut the window. It was like a French door. It was a frame with a big ass piece of glass. So I'd go out there at night. I would sit down and I would just smoke a blunt and shit. Instead of going all the way downstairs out the back door and sitting out in the backyard at night. I did that too, but I'd rather just go and sit on the damn balcony. So there's two doors in two rooms, but Terrence's, or I didn't mean to say his name, but her son's room is the best because he's on the bottom floor of the house. It's the only room on the bottom floor of the house. But see, what's so cool about these Detroit houses is a lot of these houses got dope ass basements that people turn into extra space. Like my homie on the east side and shit. When I first went over to his house, he showed me the basement, right? Man, that dude's basement looks like a little clothing store slash club. I mean, it's decked out. It's nice, man. You go down to the basement, that's where everybody hangs out at, in the basement. He got refrigerators down there. He got LED lights. Everything's painted matte black. He got a clothing rack that's full in the corner. It looks like a damn clothing store. He got all his shoes lined up down there. It looked like a place you can go to buy shoes and clothes in one corner. It's got a bar in the other corner. It's got a nice, comfortable leather couch against the wall next to a flat screen TV. And then there's a wall that separates. The whole basement is square, but he got a wall right down the middle, but it's got two entranceways on each end. So it's not a full wall, but it splits the basement in two. So both sides of the basement got two different themes. And I was like, bro, and the house is so small. That's the crazy part. The house is tiny, but really it's a trick of the eye in Detroit because the basement, you can make, bro, like just because houses in Detroit are so small, the basement makes them big, right? And like every house got a basement. This house right here that I'm in got a basement. Every house I ever lived in out here got a basement. Everybody always got washer and dryer. That's why you go to a laundromat out here, it hardly never be anybody there because everybody got their own washer and dryers here. So I was like, you know, I got a cousin that lives in Los Angeles, but he owns houses out here. And I was just like, bro, if I ever get the chance to get my hands on something major, I'm going to buy me a few houses and I'm going to deck one of them out. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to spend top dollar on a house. It don't even got to be a big house. Just a decent sized house. I prefer 2-story homes, to be honest. But my cousin got about Last time I spoke to him, he owned 8 or 9 houses on the west side. And that's 9 houses, 8 or 9. I don't remember if it's 8 or 9. I think it's one of those two, but he owns about 8 or 9 homes. And when he would come out here, he would take me over to all the houses and we would do little shit at the houses and shit, but you know, it's the housing market's going up. It's still not the same rate as like other places because for some of these houses that are in Detroit, you could pay 60 grand and get a hold of a decent house. For $60,000, you get a nice, ready to move in home. Whereas if you go any other state, not there's places in Atlanta where you can find houses like here. There's places in Indiana where you can find cheap houses. But let's say if you went to like Vegas or Los Angeles somewhere, that same house that costs 60,000, that shit's gonna cost you 600,000. Crazy work, right? And the messed up part is this: out there, they don't even have basements. Some houses have basements, but a lot of them don't. You know, like a lot of the houses here have basements and they have attics. So you could even turn the attic into a place to live in. So now you got a little, let's say you got a little 2 bedroom house. You got 2 bedrooms in the basement and you got one in the attic you could make. So you could turn a little 2 bedroom house into a 5 bedroom house. They're going to be tiny. You couldn't have a lot of stuff in them, but who cares if you just need a place to stay? Shoot. And like I said, man, it's a lot of folks that they got their houses decked out, man. It's some nice houses here, man. It's some really nice homes. This one home, and then they got the historical homes and shit like that. Like I know there's one home over on the block where my youngest daughter lives. It was built by a famous baseball player. He built it for his mom back in the 50s. But because of who owned it, um, he didn't just build a house. The house is built out of stones. Like every other house on the block is built out of red brick, except for a couple houses. But his house is on the corner, and it kind of sits up from the corner, but it's built out of big boulders. So it's a solid house. I'm talking about this house that particular house will be there for the next 200-300 years. Like it ain't going nowhere because the way it was built, bro, it's built out of solid stone and concrete. They just basically stacked a whole bunch of boulders on top of each other, like some shit you would see over in England somewhere. It's a nice house, but it's been for sale that house has been for sale for as long as I've been out here. Nobody's ever bought it, but it's a nice house though. Really nice house. And I'm almost 100% sure that it's got a basement too. Hold on. Back. All right. Sorry about that. I'm back. I got text messages coming in, so I have to take care of them. They're slightly important, so. Man, you know what? I'm starting to realize, man, everybody's going through something, man. So I'm going to tell you this, right? Whoever's out there gets this message tonight, right now. I don't care if you hear it right now on the live or 2 years from now, right? Don't let nobody piss on your head and tell you that it's raining, man. Don't ever let yourself get that way. Because it's not rain. It's piss, bro. Remember that, man. Very important, man. Because there's people out here that's getting pissed on and letting manipulators tell them that it's just rain. And it's not rain, man. They're pissing on you, pissing on your name, pissing on your respect. And they trying to act like they got love for you. And it just simply ain't true. So I need for everybody to understand that, man. Because I'm almost positive and certain that people need to hear that, man. People need to know. And at first, years ago, I would have never said nothing like that. But I understand something about this world, man. People love to manipulate. And that's why I made that video about manipulation and how many people is really out here manipulating, man. Hey, you want to see something cool, bro? Look at this. You see the hat? Look at the shoes I got on tonight. Oh, what you know about that? We matching all the way tonight. I figured I'd do that, man. We got the blue on blue going on tonight, man. But yeah, man, just don't let nobody piss on your head and tell you that it's raining, man, because that's false. But it's a lot of people out here that try to get by with that kind of stuff because there's some really good people. And it's not that they won't stand up for themselves. It's that, oh, you like those? Hey, check them out though. Check them out though. This is the what you call it? The reflector. These are the reflector. These are collector's items right here, man. You know? And they brand new. I had bought some snakeskin forces a while back, right? I had bought some snakeskin forces for like $120, right? I looked them up on what's the name of that shoe place, man? I forgot the name of this shoe place, right? Man, those shoes are going for $800 right now. And I should have bought 2 pairs, bro. I realized that shoes are, man, I can't think of the name of this shoe place. Hey, music fan, what's the name of the shoe place, man? No, you order them online. They got the main headquarters is here in Detroit. I can get any shoe in the game. It don't matter because they got the headquarters right here. It's a place that you order shoes online and they'll ship them anywhere in the country. Well, their warehouse and their headquarters is right here in Detroit, but I can't think of the name. No, it's not called Shoe Warehouse. It starts with an X or something like that. It's gonna take a minute to get to me, but they have a website and everything. And Music Fan knows the name of the place. I can't think of it right this second, but they got all the shoes, man. Put it like this, a few years ago, I had bought some Timberland boots, StockX. That's the name of it. Yeah, StockX. StockX Shoe Exchange right here in Detroit, bro. You know what? We getting old, bro. Our memories ain't what it. Yeah, you already know, man. Good part is I ain't got a whole bunch of sugar in my brain because I don't eat a lot of sugar. Bro, I haven't, listen, let me tell you something. Real talk. I haven't bought a bag of sugar in 5 years. Not saying I don't eat sugar, because I do. But as far as buying sugar to put in stuff, bro, I haven't bought a bag of sugar in 5 years, man. Real talk, man. I haven't bought a bag of sugar in a really long time. But I mean, that's just the reason why is because I look at it like this. Sugar is dangerous, man, to the entire population. Sugar is highly dangerous, man. If you eat enough sugar, you'll faint. I swear to God. Just go smash a bunch of sugar and you will straight fall out and be in the hospital. Sugar ain't no good for you, man. But we consume so much sugar on a daily basis that I can't believe that people go out and buy sugar for their house on top of buying sugar from the grocery store, in the products, in the drinks, at the gas station, at the corner store. Just sugar, 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 sugar. And they still got a bag of sugar at their house. Like, what you need sugar for, homie? You got all these products that you buy every day. When you go to a candy machine, it's pure sugar. When you go to buy something at a gas station, 90% of the times it's all sugar. Gas stations are notorious for selling nothing but sugary products. I don't care what it is. You can buy a bag of chips. I guarantee you they got sugar in them. You know, maybe if you get lucky and just decide that you want to buy some incense or like some I mean, they got stuff obviously that don't have sugar in it, but like 90% of their products have sugar. That's because America want to take our asses out and make us sick. So I don't buy sugar. I feel like I buy honey though. That's natural sugar though. But like I feel like and I'm not gonna buy sugar. I'm gonna let 10 years pass because me, I don't want dementia. Yeah, I know, man, because that's another thing. And I buy a lot of Arizonas too, man. And they have 50 grams of sugar in every drink. And really, it's 50 plus grams. It ain't 50, it's 50, it's over 50. It's like 52 grams. And I'm sorry to tell you that you got to add the extra 2 grams because 2 grams of anything, go ahead and snort 2 grams of powder and you'll see just how much 2 grams is of anything. 2 grams is a lot. So I can't just say 50, I have to say 52. But if you were to eat 52 grams of sugar, you probably wouldn't pass out. But I promise you, if you try to eat that much sugar, let's just say you put, here's a theory. Dump, nah, it's not gonna end well. If you dumped a bunch of sugar into a cup and then liquefied it with water and drank that liquefied water, you would get real shaky and you would fall out. Sugar is some crazy shit, you know. And when you burn it, it turns bubbly black. But, you know, a lot of people, especially children, love sugar. And if you let your kids eat sugar like that, you're basically allowing your kids to be little childhood dope fiends, right? So, like, I try to stay away from sugar because I look at it like I already consume a lot of sugar. But, like, here's a good example for me. I ate 2 packs of oatmeal today. The little GMO highly processed sugar, right? So with that being said, I've already had some sugar today. But compared to the average person, like, and I had some trail mix. So today I probably had around 20 grams of sugar today, which ain't bad because the average man is supposed to take in at least 30 grams of sugar each day. And the woman is a little bit less. The cutoff point for a grown adult male is no more than 36 grams of sugar per day, right? And I read this, that's why I know it's 36 grams per day for a grown man. And it's slightly lower for women, and it's even lower for kids. But now, here's the cap. This is the messed up part in that though. You get that out of one candy bar. So if you eat one candy bar, you've already reached your daily limit. This is why so many people got diabetes. This is why so many people are sick with different ailments that come from sugar. Because, and then honestly, one candy bar, let's take a Snickers for example. I think Snickers are around like 39 to 40 something grams of sugar. So even if you eat one, now here's the thing, you can eat sugar if you know how to do it right though. Like if you eat a lot of beans, there's certain foods that will help eat the sugar and send it to the right place. Nah, because water doesn't, the water that you got, and I had, this was one of the conversations we had that morning. What when Melanie told me that she missed the live, right? Yes, beans absorb sugar and they send it straight to your gut, and you're able to use the bathroom and get rid of it. It'll save your life if you eat a lot of beans. And that's why beans put you in a good mood, because beans absorb, but they also give you protein. Beans have their benefits, right? They have a lot of benefits to beans, right? But one of the main benefits is that they eat sugar. You know what I'm saying? And that's like a godsend. Any beans, bro. Any beans. It don't matter. Pork and beans are kind of processed. I'm gonna tell you a good way to get your iron is cook your food in an iron skillet, a cast iron skillet. When you do that, you get your daily dose of iron just simply. Now if you cook your food in other skillets or other pans, like non-stick pans, stainless steel, copper is probably good, but anything outside of that, you're just poisoning yourself. That's why cast iron skillets are still around, because that's one of the main pans that, number one, you get micro particles of iron that is immediately biological available to your blood. It's good for you, right? And that's why the only pan I have really is a cast. I got a big one too. That way I can fit a lot of food. And honestly, I would like to get even a bigger one. I was supposed to do shredded chicken tacos tonight, but I need to go back to the grocery store because there's still a few items I need to grab. I need to get some fresco queso. I need to get some sour cream. We got lettuce. We got tomatoes. Um, I need to get tortillas, right? But it's crazy because they even have this little fish that you could buy. I seen it on the internet. It's a cast iron fish, and you're supposed to drop it in soups. And while the food is cooking, it will uh, it will release iron into the food. So when you're eating, you're also getting your daily dose of iron. And a lot of people are insufficient, or shall I say, deficient in iron, bro. A lot of people are deficient in iron. So it's like that's a main must have whenever you are trying to get your daily values in different things. What is the best food for clogged arteries? Garlic, uh, cayenne pepper, right? Uh, Lemon and lime. And honestly, if you want a clogged artery food, make yourself a cocktail bomb out of purified water, a dash of lime or lemon, a nice healthy amount of salt, and some cayenne pepper, and stir it up really good and drink it, bro. Hey, there's literally people that saved themselves from a heart attack by drinking cayenne pepper, right? That shit breaks down a lot of shit on your walls of your arteries, and it also treats hypertension. But, you know, if you smoke cigarettes, Cigarettes make your arteries stiff and tight. Okra is a good one too. Okra has a lot of benefits, but you gotta drink that slimy shit, right? Me, I just went and bought me a nice. I bought me a sliver of aloe vera from the store yesterday. I haven't scooped it out yet, but my plan is to peel it open with a spoon and scrape all the jelly into a cup and drink it and let it just marinate in my stomach because that's that godsend. What you want to see the aloe vera? That's what you saying? You want to see the aloe vera, music fan? What, you guys don't believe me? You think I'm capping, huh? That's what you think? All right, well, let me show you that I'm not capping. Give me a second. Oh, man. See, I don't be talking this healthy stuff, but not sticking by it myself. Oh, you want to see what it looks like? Well, I got to take it out the bag first. I got it all tied up like I'm going to be traveling with it. Well, this is I don't mind promoting this, bro. Right? I don't mind promoting it because this is going to help you, man. See, that's what I need right there. And honestly, you can just eat it. It don't taste the best. It's real bitter, right? But that's all right, though. You know why? Because that's what this water's for. It's bitter. But this, look at that. That's meat. Look at all that meat. Ooh wee. Ooh, that's some bitter stuff there, boy. But look, check it out. We're gonna pull it all the way out, right? You know, just the other half, the aloe vera, and then bam, the freshness. So once again, peephole. I'm trying to wash my guts with this. We not using this for my hair. But once again, peephole. Woo, that's nasty. Well, sir, I just got this. I just got this yesterday. So, yes, sir. That deserves a like or two, right? Because I guarantee you this. Very few people in America tonight then just took a big chunk out of a damn aloe vera plant. Straight. Ugh, mainline. Mainlined it straight to the. Oh, you heard the crunch and everything, huh? Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Let me go put this back real quick. Come on. Come on. You come in here? You come in here? Come hang out, bro. The doggy dog paid me a visit. You wanna come hang out? Hmm? You come hang out? Come on. Come hang out. I'll let you out in a little while. I'll let you out. Oh, Danny boy wanted to say hi. Look, he wanna always give me his damn paw. Dog one. He loves coming and messing with me, man. Ain't that right, Woody? Yeah, that was bad. Maybe I shouldn't have did that because that was some.
Oh, okay.
I do have telepathic abilities. But really, I was just feeling like it was the time. I was just thinking to myself, like, the people are waiting for me. I need to take the stage tonight. And I always got good stuff to talk about. You know, I don't try to sit here and get on here and just be an asshole or do goofy shit or stuff like that. But man, that aloe vera was nasty. Yeah. It also promotes good gut bacteria, and it also helps inflammation in your digestive system. It can also fight cancer causing free radicals. So there's a lot of benefits. It's nasty as hell, but I don't think you're supposed to eat the skin, but you know me, man. I want it all. Ugh. And it leaves a terrible aftertaste. So if you plan on eating it like that, then maybe I shouldn't have did that, but small price to pay for huge benefits. And just think of this. I got that whole leaf I got to eat because I'm going to eat the whole leaf. But you want to talk about bitter. Ugh. You know what? We're not even going to talk about bitter, bro. We're not even going to talk about bitter. Hey, I once knew this kid, right? When I was at this youth facility. Oh, you were sick, huh? Man, sorry to hear that. I can't stand hearing people were sick. They're getting sick. My daughter gets sick a lot, man. And I hate that because uh, she's so little. I was supposed to go see her yesterday, but
I'm probably gonna
I'm probably gonna catch the bus down there. And I don't reach I don't have a I'm gonna catch the bus. I'm gonna go talk to this church in a couple days because I heard that the church donates cars to people for the right cause. So we're going to have to see if I can get the church to give me a donation like that and tell them that I'll do anything that you guys need me to do within um, moral parameters.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, another thing you could do to prevent yourself from getting sick at all is make you some water out of purified water and throw the skin of an orange, a lemon, or a lime, or a grapefruit, or any type of fruit like that that's got that type of skin. Boil the skin. Throw you some onion in there. Throw you some garlic in there. And drink the liquid that you boiled with the skin. And you don't have to do it when you're sick because you don't want to wait till you're. When I was in prison, that's how the inmates kept from getting sick. Is we would save all our orange peels and we would put them in a hot pot and we would boil it and then we would make some tea out of the orange peels and then we would pass that shit around depending on how much orange peels we had. Man, me and the homies, we were on some shit like we're not trying to be no dumb criminals. We're trying to be smart on a spiritual level, not smart like a convict, but just our goal was always we came up in this mess called life, but we're at least going to try to educate ourselves on how not to die early and staying healthy and having a very strong immune system was one of those things. And me, like, I ain't never had no STDs. I don't have no lifelong illnesses that are going to follow me. I don't have any health conditions other than my stomach. But as you just saw me eat that aloe vera, I'm working on that ailment actively to fix it, right? Yeah, well, it's just like anything, man. You can rinse it off, and some people don't use the skin. They boil the actual orange itself, but the skin is more potent, right? That's why I ate that aloe vera skin because the skin to everything, my stomach feels fine. It might be bitter and nasty to my tongue, but the thing about your stomach is it don't have taste buds. It just has receptors. So those receptors are only there to identify what minerals, chemicals, and nutrients are in whatever you swallow. So right now, my receptors in my stomach are having a party because they're like, I don't know what the hell he just swallowed, but this shit is the bomb. So no, my stomach don't hurt at all. It feels fine. My back of my tongue feels nasty though. It tastes nasty.
Well,
We just boil them to, yeah, I guess to kill the germs, but not only that, because boiling it just releases the nutrients. You don't want to boil it too long though, but because you can, a lot of the thing about a lot of fruits and vegetables, if you boil certain stuff, it kills the nutrients that you're looking for. So you don't want to do it. Another way, you could just make it warm. You don't have to like boil it, just warm it. No, it doesn't enhance the nutrients. It releases it out of the skin into the liquid. But it's just like for I'll give you an example with calcium, right? If you take eggshells for a plant, you probably heard of this before. Bake the eggshells in the oven for 30 minutes to get any grease, oils, or the membrane to cook off of it to where you're just left with pure shell. And then you crush it down. and then you put the eggshell inside of a, you ever seen a coffee grinder, like the electric one, where you just, it's got like a little cup. You put everything in a cup, you take the machine, turn it upside down, and you twist the cap onto the coffee grounder, and then you flip it upside down and you blend it, it turns into powder, right? Then you take that powder and you put it in a cup, and then you measure out X amount of spoonfuls of distilled white vinegar, and you pour that vinegar into the eggshell powder, and it's gonna bubble. It's gonna bubble, 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 right? Yeah, that's Melanie. That's where I get this from. Is when I was growing. Once it's done bubbling, it's done. That liquid is pure calcium that is biologically available immediately for your plant's health. Now, you can take the powder and dump it into the soil of your plants, and what'll end up happening is the calcium isn't available right away. It's released over time into the roots of the plant. So either or, but if you want your plants to get calcium right away, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's good that you look stuff up, Bars, because you know, this is stuff that we need to know. And a lot of people don't know, and it's not because they don't know, it's because a lot of people don't care about health like that, you know. Especially people that don't have the time to research, which that's crazy. I don't see how you don't have the time, but you should have the time if you want to live to your 70s. Oh man, bro, that's dandelions. I used to, let me tell you what I used to do. So my daughter has 3 other sisters, right? I used to send those girls on a mission all through the summertime. This was the mission I used to send the girls on. I used to give them all a bag, and I used to tell them, I want y'all to go out in the yard and pick as many dandelions as you can, put them in the bag. And then when you guys are all done picking the dandelion flowers, give them to Faith, and I want her to put them all into the main bag. So then, this when I was growing too, right? I'll have a gigantic bag of dandelions. You know what I'll do? I'll compost it in muddy water. I had a garbage can that I used that had all kinds of shit in it. And I just used to throw all kinds of shit in that garbage can. It sat out in the backyard, and I put a top over it, but it was crawling with life. Man, I threw dandelions in there, eggshells, banana peels, apple cores, pieces of rotten meat, uh, chicken bones, just all kinds of stuff, right? And I used to take that water, and what I would do is when I would make a water concoction, I had a dog food pail with 2 holes drilled in the top of the lid. And one of the holes, I ran a fish oxygen hose to it that blew air, and it would blow bubbles into the water, which oxygenated the water, and then the exit hole was just so the whole contraption would work. Then what I would do is I would get a gallon milk jug, and I would fill it up, and I would go get a nice little like a nice little scoop of my compost dirt that I got all this organic bullshit in, and I would put a scoop of it into the water, and I would shake it up till it looked like chocolate milk, and that's what I would water my weed plants with. And that's why if you look at that short video, I mean the video that I got, and then you know what else I used to feed my plants? Whole milk, 2%, or whatever whole milk is, because that gives it that plants like milk too. But if you go look at the video in my videos, that's why I had my plant looking the way that it was looking, because I was using just all natural shit, but like I was doing it in such a way to where like like but I had researched all this shit ahead of time. Like I just knew different methods that you could use instead of running to the hydroponic store and buying all these chemicalized ingredients and nutrients, which I did that too. I ain't gonna lie. And honestly, if anybody knows anything about growing, I was buying a lot of that general hydroponics nutrients. And the thing about general hydroponics, they was using that shit back in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. That's one of the original nutrient companies. Oh, okay. Me personally, I haven't smoked anything. I've been just chilling out on the weed, trying to get a job. But I feel better when I'm not smoking, you know. Just I did drink 2 Coronas last night though.
Yeah.
Well, in May is so you want to start your plants in April and set them outside by May, in my opinion, right? You want to set them out around Mayish. And that's pretty much anywhere on the East Coast. But um, there's a million ways though. I used to have, and then the compost that I made was good for vegetables too. It wasn't just good for weed plants. Like I'm gonna get me some aloe vera seeds and plant some aloe vera plants here at the house, just for everybody to have access to. But I want to plant them in pots so you can bring them in during the wintertime. And once you know about all the benefits to them, then you'll be like, you're gonna always want to keep that shit around you instead of having to run to the store every time you need something.
You know.
But I went and I buy a lot of shit, man, from the store. Unfortunately, I can't make a whole lot of moves now because I'm short on cash. But when I'm not short on cash, man, I spend a lot of money on organic items. I stay with my vitamins. I stay with my minerals. I try to tell everybody I can about the benefits to having the right amount of minerals in your body and how to get them out of just everyday items like table salt, the difference between natural versus processed, how, you want to stay away from the iodized salt and go for the more organic brand. It's a few dollars more, but the benefits outweigh the dollar amount. You'll feel better, you'll function better, your body will respond better. You won't be suffering from shit like brain fog and fatigue and tiredness every day. One of the biggest problems that Americans have right now is their diet, right? And that diet, let me tell you what affects your body through the diet is your energy level, your motivation. And then a lot of people have parasites in them, and that's another thing that really significantly drains your energy is people have parasites that they're not even aware of, because it's not like you feel them, but they're there. And every living organism on earth has parasites, but like you can do stuff, little small lifestyle changes to mitigate the damage that these parasites cause in your body and even get rid of them in certain ways. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. The lower the numbers, the better, right? So, like, I used to go get I've had it all. Yeah, that's not a good idea. Raw meat, raw anything, if it ain't a raw vegetable, but even raw vegetables and fruits have parasites. So that's why you should do a parasite cleanse twice a year. A good one to start with is oregano oil paired with black seed oil, right? I've taken both of them. Um, Papaya seeds crushed down in drinks, also with black seed oil. You know, there's a lot of ways. Now I'm not saying that's gonna cure you completely because parasites. There's a lot of different forms. There's tapeworms. There's I don't even know all the names. I just said tapeworms because that's one of the famous ones that we all know about that live in your system that attach themselves to your intestinal walls. What's going on, Augie? But it can also make you sick if you don't do it properly because you need to take binders for all the toxins. If you don't do that, you'll you you'll get sick before you get better. And in some cases, you could pass away from getting too sick if you try to go on this cleanse journey and you just wipe everything out. I'm gonna tell you something that'll wipe your system clean, but you'll be sick as a dog for weeks. But once you're done, you'll feel better. But like, I don't know anybody who could really survive. Look up a bitter melon, bro. They grow in the desert on the West Coast. Like, I remember we used to when we used to drive from Vegas to nah, you will get sick off of these, right? You'll empty out your intestines, every part of them. It will empty you completely, but like you'll be sick, really bad. Bitter melons, bro. They grow in the desert. They look like regular watermelons, but they're only the size of a softball. And when me and my brother used to travel from Vegas to Laughlin to go do work, we would pull over on the side of the road and grab a bunch of them and put them in a little bucket to have at the house and then research what we could do with them, right? Bitter melons, they say, are I think it's called the devil's fruit or the dragon's fruit or something like that. They're the most bitterest substance on earth. They grow out in the middle of the desert and they are so fucking bitter. But they, if you just eat one mouthful, you'll be paying for that shit for like a month. you'll be you'll be paying for that shit, but it liquefies everything from your stomach all the way to the bottom. Like you ain't got to worry about colon cancer. You eat that shit. But I'm telling you right now, boy, you eat that shit, some bitter melon, you'll survive it. I'm not saying you won't die from it, but bro, listen, that's some serious stuff. It looked like a watermelon, but it's only about the size of a softball. But the Indians, the Native Americans used to use them for the oils to make stuff. They didn't eat them. They just used to extract the oil out of them. Nah, I don't recommend you try bitter melons. I don't recommend anybody tries that shit. That's just some self torture. That's like eating one of those ghost pepper chips. You're just asking for trouble, and you will have the worst stomach ache you've ever had, and you'll just be crying and you'll be miserable. But once it goes away, once it finally passes, you'll feel great. But the problem is, can you go through that suffering just to, and let me tell you that will scare every damn parasite out of your body immediately. If you eat some bitter melon, those parasites are packing up and moving out immediately. They're not gonna mess around with those. But you will pay such a huge price, you will feel like shit for a long time. A few weeks, in fact. I heard it takes about 30 days for that shit to fully, for you to come back to normal, right? But like, who wants to go through that kind of shit, man? But really, they also say the shit is so bitter that you're gonna have a hard time swallowing that shit. I told you it's the bitterest shit on earth, you know? But it'll clean you out though. I mean, clean. You will be as healthy as you could get You'll probably lose a couple pounds in the process because once you eat that shit, you ain't gonna really have no appetite for nothing else until that bitter melon passes and does runs its course through your system. I'm sure there's benefits to it, but like it's like the harshest way out there to clean your body. Like you want to talk about some harsh shit? Go eat a just one bite. Just one bite. If someone paid me $1 million, I probably still wouldn't do it. Right? But you'll see them. They grow on vines out in the desert. As you driving down the road off the highway, you can see them just dotted throughout the Nevada desert, right? And oh wait, those things they even smell. I remember one day in the work truck, I had got one when we pulled over, and I broke one open and just stuck my tongue on it, like, and just that alone was woo wee. Just that little quick swipe of the tongue was too damn much, right? It's like those things are terrible business, but look them up though. Bitter melons that grow in the desert. You know, it's worth knowing about them though, because everything is good for something if you know what it is, right? Like who would have ever thought that the cactus berries on a cactus taste like strawberries? But they do. If you go out in the desert and you pick all the thorns off of them, you can eat them, right? You feel me? So, it's just stuff like that, man. That the benefits, man. There's so many things we could do to like, keep ourselves healthy. But it's only if you're trying to live to be 80, right? If exactly, you know, prickly pears are what they're called. If you just want to like make your best attempt to live until 80 years old, stop doing everything. Stop smoking weed, stop drinking, eat you some good food that you prepared yourself with the right ingredients. Make sure, yeah, and this is why it's hard to be healthy because you got to pick spices that don't have heavy metal in them. You got to pick meat from a good source. And all that shit requires for you to do extra work. It sucks, but it's like they make staying healthy damn near impossible because they don't they don't want you to make it till 80, but you can. It costs a little bit more money, and you got to do your research a little bit more better. And if anyone out there is able to take the steps to a healthy lifestyle, you'll be able to see 80 years old. Your body will keep on running. You ain't got to worry about cancer. You ain't got to worry about, you know, anything like, it's a lot of, but it's hard. That's the problem. It's hard, and most people rather settle for the convenience of the easy shit. Hey, kids, let's go to McDonald's. Hey, let's go here, let's go there. When where you should be going with your little $150 is to the farmer's market. Buy you some fresh meat, some fresh eggs, some fresh vegetables, some fresh fruit.
But like I said, it's more
Expensive, and that's the problem. People don't have the money to sustain the good, healthy shit.
they should though.
If you want to live, but most people are already tapping out these days and they're like, I don't plan on getting old. I plan on passing away in my early 50s. So I'm like, all right, well, that's probably, I think I might make it into my 60s, possibly, you know. I hope I do. That's 15 years, 16 years from now, you know. So if I can make it to my 60s, that'll be great. I think I got another 15 years inside of me, but I know in 15 years I'm going to be feeling so bad that I'm going to be ready to go anyways.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, and it's going to keep going up. It'll get worse before it gets better. And the reason I know that is because it hasn't got better yet, which means it has to get worse, which means it hasn't got to its worst yet. And so, because we haven't experienced it getting better, we haven't been through the worst of it yet. So, it still got to get worse before it gets better. And the problem is, when people say that it gets worse before it gets better, we don't know how long it stays worse. It could get worse and then stay worse for 10, 15 years and then slowly get better. Cause everything is a real process, you feel me? Everything. I don't care what you're dealing with on this planet. Every single thing there is, including your health becoming halfway decent, it's a process. I got these gut issues. Some of them, a lot of the damage in my gut is permanent. But if I were to fast, it would get better, but it wouldn't get back to 100% because there's permanent damage. So I would have to learn how to live with the permanent damage. And I'll just share with you right now, one of the things that I've been doing to fight against my stomach damage is eating less food, preparing my meals smaller than what I would normally. Whatever I would normally eat, I would cut that in half and only eat half. And as much as I don't like doing that, I feel better. You feel me? I do. Because I eat a lot. My eyes been bigger than my stomach, right? But the problem was I never realized just how small my stomach was over the years. But I know now. So what I do is now the only way to mitigate the damage from getting worse is I have no choice. It's a lifestyle choice that I have to make, whether I like it or not. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going through the discomfort and the pain. Is I take everything that I want to eat and I got to cut it in half. But ever since I started cutting down on the meal portions, I feel better. My stomach, I'm able to go to sleep at night without this super bad indigestion. I started eating shit like aloe vera, berries and cherries, and all these different things, swigging a shot of honey, pure honey. And I've noticed that my gut is slowly improving. But the point I'm trying to make is it's still a process. And the only way to get it back to, let's say that I can only get it back to 80%. I'm not, let's say I can get it back to 80%. And right now I'm sitting at 30%. 30% would mean a motherfucker's really sick though, which I have been really sick over this little gut issue. But we're going to use these numbers for entertainment purposes only, right? So let's say my gut's at 30%. It'll never get back to 100 because of the damage. I can only get it to 80. Well, the only way I'm going to get it to 80 is if I make these lifestyle choices. Cut down my meals by half, go buy the stuff that it takes, like the cherries, the strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and stuff like that. Pure raw honey, aloe vera, cilantros, the mint leaves, and stuff like that. I can still eat meat, but I can only eat half of what I used to eat, right? And then the process will begin. So I went from 30, just off the, here's the great part, right? Just off of that lifestyle change that I had to force myself to make, my health went up 40 to from 30 to 40%, right? So now I'm only halfway away from my goal, right? Just from making the change alone, you go from 30% to 40%, right? But you got to work your ass off to get to 50 and then 60 and then 70. And that's where the fasting comes in. That's where the discipline and all of that. But the good part about discipline is once you discipline your mind to do something, you don't have to discipline it no more. It's just the world that we live in, the corporations and the industrial fucking capitalists, they know that most people don't have a strong sense of self-control and they'll settle for the easy route. And motherfuckers target that, right? They target that you're not going to take your health serious. That's why people die of ailments that they could have easily saved themselves from, but it was easier to just be lazy about it, right? They felt the pain, they felt the discomfort, they knew problems were on the horizon, but they didn't have enough self-control and discipline to fix it, right? So I'm trying to build that self-control and discipline to fix what I feel that's going to get way worse in the future, right? And I'm going to keep doing that. And I encourage anybody to think like that who feels like if you wake up every day and you just don't feel good. You got low energy. You always got headaches and take a few days and fast. But fasting ain't enough. You still got to change what you eat. You got to change a lot of people suffer from the amount of food that they eat. It ain't even about what you eat. It be mainly the amount. People are notorious in America for overeating their food. Like we all do it. You overeat and then you feel like shit. You do that enough times, your body is just gonna fucking give up on you. You know, like you just overeat all the fucking time because you think you need all this food when the body was designed to go days without food, to be honest with you. It was designed. But society in the Matrix was designed to fucking shove that shit down your throat. That's why there's a fast food spot and a gas station and a grocery store on every motherfucking corner. You know what I'm saying? Just like the liquor stores and the bodegas and just everything else. So that's why it takes discipline and self control. And really, I think the people with no money are winning, right? That's how you fucking save yourself is you don't have no damn money. If you don't have money, you can't indulge, right? That's why you see, I don't know, but at any rate, if you can just learn that not you, but this is more about me than anybody else. So this is a journey that I'm sharing with you. Like I'm done overeating. I'm forcing myself, even if I cook a lot of food, it doesn't mean I have to eat a lot of food, right? Like all that chicken I ate yesterday, I've only ate a few pieces of it yet because I'm gonna take my time. I mean, it'll get ate before it gets old or spoiled, but like, I don't want to overeat because then I'm gonna feel bad and it's not even gonna be good. It's like, what's the point of good food if you don't really enjoy it because you ate too much? So when it hits your gut, you feel all sick inside and uncomfortable. And so it's like, I know I got these stomach issues, so I gotta work from there forward, from there up, and I have to make the right lifestyle changes to be able to eat stuff that I like without that food turning on me when it gets inside of me, right? Because food can do that. It can turn on you, right? We already know half the shit is poisonous. They use like deadly chemicals to make a lot of this shit. Like, no parent should be feeding their kids any cereal whatsoever, but I understand it's a convenience thing. Your kids don't want to eat apples, they want to eat cereal. They don't want to eat organic stuff, they want to eat candy. But it's just like that's why we're all passing away nowadays of illnesses at an exponential rate because convenience is everywhere. But you know what hides behind convenience? Chemical death, very, very bad ingredients. The devil is in the details, but people don't tend to look at the fucking details, right? They don't look at them. And these corporations and these capitalists, that's why they stay winning because we stay with our blinders on. But the cold part is ain't nobody sleep. That's the fucked up part. No one's sleep. Motherfuckers is awake to it. They're submitted to it. They're just weak and have no self-control or discipline. And neither do I, but I'm working on building it. Cause for me, I feel like, bro, if I want to live just to see 60, I have to change these things about my life. Otherwise, I don't care about how long I live. I just care about just happy go lucky. But then who wants to be 55 years old and feel like they're 90? Who wants to be an old person and have all these ailments because they didn't take care of themselves when they was young? But who wants to not know that, bro, just because you messed up your body when you was younger, you know you can fix it right now just by simply stop eating so much. Just stop eating so much. That's all you gotta do. Stop eating all the day. Yeah, but see, I bet when he was younger, Melanie, they didn't have all the bullshit kind of food they have now. So he didn't destroy his internal organs like we did because the poisonous food wasn't as it wasn't as saturated into the society like it is now. Now, they got thousands of products, but they're all owned by the same people. And if the people that own them will poison one of their products, they're poisoning all of their products. because those companies care about the money, not the people. They want the profits, not the positive health results. They don't care if you live or die. You should look up the meeting that they had back in the 70s and the 80s about when Pintos first hit the scene, and they knew that the Pinto had a major design flaw, and what the board of directors said about that design flaw. They chose the money over the people, and it's documented. It's a very interesting story, but we're not going to get into that right now. But I'll be right back. right, sorry about that. I am very sorry. I am back. But I was just talking about I was watching this guy on YouTube. No, he was on Facebook and he was crying because he went to the doctor. He already knew he had cancer, but he went to a doctor and the doctor told him that he was in remission, but something inside of him told him to go get a second opinion. So that's what he did. And when he went to get a second opinion, another doctor told him that he was in fact not in remission, right? And so the guy was distraught. He was crying and shit because not in remission. And so he was sad because he was like, damn, how much time do I have? But a thing that I wanted to share with everybody is this. Uh ever since the Epstein files dropped and came to light, a lot of doctors worldwide announced that they discovered a cure for cancer. Now, we either know or already suspected years and years ago that there was a cure that's been available, but because of the pharmaceutical industry and money, no, Jay, just this one. My Facebook is private. Um, they didn't release the cures because it was a monopoly, and it still is a monopoly. But maybe the guy should fly overseas to get some treatment because here in America, man, there's a lot of dark practices when it comes to people's health. And when it comes to people's health, it's really hard to get help when you're living in a world where they're getting wealthy off the medical monopoly and all they want to do is treat the issue but not cure it. They don't want to help you. All they want to do is give you pills. That's not the way to cure anything, right? And I was just thinking that you know, a lot of people with ailments should look into holistic ways to heal their body because the same way that these pharmaceutical companies develop these pills is the same way that they get a lot of their ingredients right out of nature. And holistic doctors are the same way. They treat the ailments to cure it through, you know, uh, natural remedies. And the natural remedies are available. Even if you got to fly out the country to go pick a certain flower or get leaves to a certain plant, that's what you might have to do. Because even though these countries then came out with cures that have already been out, but they're finally going public with them, you know, the information is available and the stuff that you need is also available, but it's difficult for a purpose, and the purpose is to keep you sick. But there's still a lot of holistic doctors out there that will treat to cure, not just treat to treat. So, if you tap in to the real information, you don't have to worry about passing away from cancer or a lot of other ailments. But you just have to, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to be disciplined and strong enough to go see, especially if you're sick already. You got to go seek out the proper help. And it ain't going to be easy, but it's there. And that's the point. And I don't want to see nobody give up because they feel like it's too difficult. But a lot of people give up, man. A lot of people give up. And, what do you tell the people that feel like they don't have the resources to go and find out? They have doctors here in America that if you pay them the right amount, they will go halfway around the world and get what you need. Because the thing about holistic healing, a lot of that shit is free. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. But it's not free because what you don't pay in money, you're gonna have to pay in the difficulty level, you know. And if you do it though, it'll be the difference between you passing in your early 50s versus living to be 80 and feeling good doing it. But it is a lot of work because even if you get the stuff you need, you got to change your lifestyle, like I was already saying. So, you know, it's worth it because what else are we doing with our time in our life? We're just going to work, paying our bills, and repeating, right? Another thing about America is how easy it is to start a business and start making your own income. But people think of a business in terms of you need millions of dollars, you need a building, you need all these things. No, you don't. You can start any kind of business. I know a guy that goes around looking for those dollar noodles that go in pools. Family Dollar sells them for $1 a piece, and he'll go to Family Dollars all over the region and buy them all. And by the time he's done buying them, he just spent $500-600 just on these pool noodles because he has a business that he makes stuff out of them. And so if he spends $600, he gonna get all that money back ASAP with a profit. So, it's all kind of ways to change your lifestyle, but it's just difficult because we weren't taught the proper information that we need to be successful and thrive in a lot of places. But a lot of times you just need to unlearn the backwards way and then relearn the proper way. And if you do that, then, not only can you be healthier, but you'll be more responsible and you'll be able to extend your life off of your own energy. Whereas if you every time you feel sick, you run to the hospital, you're not going to get the help that you need because they're not there to benefit people. A hospital is a bona fide business, but people think it's a place of healing, and that's what it should be, but unfortunately that's not what it is. And it ain't never been that. So, it's just things that the more you know, the better off you'll be. And so you don't even need to know a lot. You just yeah, and you know what? I said on one of my short videos a long time ago, I said, a lot of folks out here are drowning in information, but they're starving for real knowledge. And that is the point, is to drown you in information that's useless, but you never go and seek out tangible knowledge that will help you. And I'm a victim of that same shit. Like I am myself a victim of that. Like all this information, but it's not knowledge. It's like how they say if you eat a whole bunch of McDonald's food, it'll make you feel full, but it's not going to benefit your health. It ain't going to benefit your health. You'll just end up, you know, eating yourself into a grave. And you know, that's why I be telling people to go check out these holistic ways and stuff that they have available for fairly cheap. Sometimes you'll have an ailment that the doctor will tell you you need to do all this stuff, take all these pills, when if you just fast and drink a certain concoction of tea, it will get rid of certain ailments. It will bring blood sugar levels down. It'll clear up brain fog. It'll clear up fatigue and tiredness, you know, and you know, it'll help your heart beat well. There's concoctions that you can drink that will heal heart issues. How many people a year pass away from heart issues? A lot of them, right? A lot of them. A lot of people because you have a problem with your heart. If you don't change your lifestyle, it's not going to fix your heart. But if you learn, you know, the different herbs and spices that are out there available, and sometimes the herbs and spices aren't even available readily in the United States, but there are people who live in the US who travel across the world to get those spices, bring them back, and then they'll sell them, right? And you go and you buy it and you start making tea along with fasting and your nutritional diet change, you'll be able to lower your ailments and heighten your life expectancy. I've heard of salvia. Um, there was a time that they sold it at every smoke shop when I lived in Vegas. You could go buy salvia from the smoke shop in big bags. It just looks like dry leaves, and you crunch it down and you smoke it, and it's supposed to make you hallucinate and do all this weird shit. Which me and my brother did it, and I didn't experience no hallucinations. But one thing I did experience was when I smoked salvia in the past was that it looked like shit was passing in front of my vision, like I kept seeing shit that wasn't there, but not on a super heavy hallucinogenic level, just little lightweight stuff, like little small, like little shadows, and you just look all around because you keep thinking you seeing stuff that's not really there. So I guess if you get the weak shit, you'll experience a portion of it, but the salvia that I seen was some weak shit. It wasn't even nothing, you know. But yeah, I've messed around with salvia at one point, but it wasn't nothing that I was into, not at all. I know people that was smoking spice at one time, which I believe is also a form of salvia, but it's a stronger form and it's mixed in with other synthetic shit. And spice will have you tripping out really bad. And who wants to go through some shit like that? Who wants to feel that? Not me. Not at all. So I'm like, nah. I tried it and it didn't do anything. Like I said, it just gave me a slight head change and I was like, and it's real weak. It's like you see little shit in your peripherals that's not really there, but then it goes away quickly. After about a half hour, you won't be seeing shit no more. But like I said,
smoke shops, they sell the watered down version of shit like that. But when Spice was a thing, that was some serious stuff there. Spice was on a different level. And then they try to market it like it's weed. Oh, this is just like legal weed. No, it ain't. That shit is like some legal acid or like some legal mushrooms. But you'll lose your mind messing around with that shit. You'll be calling the paramedics on yourself. But that's about as far into the salvia world that I went. I haven't. I've taken a few puffs off some spice, just a couple puffs, and I didn't like it. I was like, hell no, I'll never do this shit again. There was a time when I was snorting powder, and I had a plug that catered to the rich people. So he had the good powder. I'm talking about top of the line powder. I'm talking about one line will have you geeked out the whole night. And you know what? It wasn't cheap going to this particular plug, but like if you wanted the good shit, I had a line on the best shit. But still, as good as it was, I knew that this not some shit I want to do. I So I'm happy to announce that now I don't do any pills, I don't do any drugs, I don't do anything. All I do is drink a couple beers from time to time. That's it. I don't take it past that because I ain't trying to be out here. You know, uh, so there's another case I want to speak on here in Michigan where there's a jewelry store owner that got brutally unalived in you know, a unalive for hire plot where this jewelry store owner got targeted by his own attorney, and the attorney wanted to rob him and absorb his assets. So he tried it. And so the jewelry store owner ended up getting unalived, right? And his wife was right there with him, and she got hit too. So the story went that they were leaving the jewelry store one day, and he was driving down the road in his truck, and a guy on an electric bike pulled up on the side of him on a bike. He wasn't even in a car, he was on a bike, and he opened fire on the truck, unaliving the owner. I think he shot him like 15 times or some crazy shit like that. The wife got hit. She survived though. But at any rate, he had a guy that worked for him that was his right hand man. And after he passed away, he passed the keys on to the other guy. Mind you, everyone got arrested in this case. They got caught. The attorney got caught up. The shooters got caught up. They all got life sentences, right? But just recently, within the last couple days, the new guy that was running the business, he went on a business trip down to Tennessee, and he was down there and he bought some Percocet pills. This is the story as it goes online. I don't know the validity of it, but this is how it goes because everyone thought he got unalived too, which I think he did. But first they try to say it was natural causes, and now they're saying that he bought some Percocet pills in Tennessee. He popped one, and in fact, it was fentanyl, and it caused his death. So I thought it's ironic how the person that was elected to run the business after Hutch's passing is also now unalived himself. He didn't get brutally shot like Hutch did, but he is now no longer with us as well. And I think the business is going to end up shutting down after this one because there is nobody in line. So, it's either the wife finds somebody, and another thing too, the jewelry store had high quality jewelry, very good stuff. They didn't sell no fake shit. Everything was the diamonds were always VVS clarity. The gold was good source. just whatever they had, all the precious metals were on the up and up. But after this other guy lost his life, I don't really know if he's gonna if the business is gonna stay open now because there's nobody to run it to carry on the legacy. So it's very unfortunate that the other guy, his name was D Hasty. He's been dead less than a week, but he passed down in Tennessee. And that's why I don't do drugs anymore, man. I don't take pills or nothing because all it takes is one pill with fentanyl in it and it's over with. And nobody can save you, right? Especially if you're by yourself and there's nobody to, call 911 or if they don't have Narcan or something like that. And honestly, from what I hear is now they got a new synthetic drug that's even more potent than Fetty Wap to where if you try to Narcan somebody off of this other new strain, the Narcan makes it worse. It doesn't bring you back. So now you can't even Narcan somebody off this other stuff, which I think is absolutely wild. You know what I mean? But God rest his soul, man. Rest in peace, D Hasty. I don't know him, never met him, but I've passed by the jewelry store many times and never been in there because I ain't got the kind of money. They deal with rappers and celebrities up in that jewelry store. They got all the good stuff though. If you want like diamonds and you want like, custom jewelry, that's the place to go. Which is sad because I think they're going to be closing their doors soon. That whole business was targeted by some thieves and a lot of lives were lost behind that whole thing. I would say, let me see, one, two, three, four, five people so far and counting, and Hutch got it the worst. The main owner, he got shot up, so he took it the worst. And it was all behind a greedy lawyer. I don't want to speak too much about it because I'm sure that attorney is connected still out here to a lot of people. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but I just wanted to speak on the fact that you know, they're saying that he passed due to taking a fatty pill that was disguised to look like a perk. And if anybody remembers, that's how Rich Homie Quan passed away from this same shit. My thing is, why do everybody want to take perks? What is so good about a perk, man? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Why do people need to walk around high off of Percocets to begin with? What's up with that shit? Pain management? All right, music fan, you have a good night. Hey, I'm gonna contact you tomorrow if you're available. Um, we need to have that talk still. But in the meantime, in between time, have a good night and I'll catch up. If I go live, I'll reach out to you and let you know. Yeah, but she didn't even call emergency services right away. So they were looking at her at first, but it's a life is a game out there that you could easily lose, you know. And so it's just crazy how things go. And, life itself is so cheap that anybody can get it, man. It's like dude didn't do anything and all it takes is for you to have somebody plotting on you behind your back and they're going to try to take you out one way or another, whether it's a car accident, some poison, gunshots, a setup, however, whatever it takes, man. It's sad that that's the world that we live in. It's hella sad, but it's also reality. So reality trumps the sadness. So no matter what the case may be, you got to be vigilant, man, and you got to like not trust as much as you feel that you can trust because a lot of these cats are getting taken out by some of their best friends, their own family. You know what I'm saying? And what's worse than getting taken out by your own family, man? Okay. Yeah, it's bad out there. But I mean, that's no need for anybody to worry. It's just need for you to be conscious of everyone you deal with because how many times have we heard about females going to hang out with their friends and never making it back home because they got set up? It's all kinds of scenarios, for real. It's all kind of scenarios, man. And that's what sucks about life is that as life moves forward, we have to trust less and less. You know what I mean? Like we have to. You can't just be out here trusting people no more because too many people are willing to betray over money. And it's always been like that, but now it's like that more than ever before. Motherfucker will betray you over $1,500. And that ain't even no money. It's just that the cost of living life now is so high that the amount of money that you'll backdoor somebody for is becoming less and less. You know, um, some of these rappers sitting up here screaming 5 racks will get you whacked. Down in New Orleans, shit, 2 racks will get you whacked. Your life is only worth 1,500 to $2,000 to a lot of people, and in some cases, it's worth less than that. So, I don't think anybody here on my channel got to worry about it, but it's still worth keeping in the mind because you may come across someone that you need to tell this shit to and say, "Hey, man, watch your circle because they'll hurt you." You know, and especially if your circle thinks you a square, you in the wrong circle. Probably was better off with squares. Shout out to the squares though, because they ain't out here backdooring people, but you never know. If you're not getting sacrificed, you just getting straight up taken out over somebody else's selfish desires. And to me, it ain't never gonna change. That's gonna always be reality. But like, you know, um, and then you got people taking themselves out from once again unhealthy lifestyles, unwilling to change, and then get sick and catch these major illnesses and then wonder why they don't have a lot of time. Man, it's just the way everything's set up basically. Everybody chasing that mighty dollar, including your doctor, including your, a lot of these people paying into health insurance, but they have no intentions on ever helping you. They just want the money. Same with car insurance. You know, you you go and get all these different insurances. It could be a business that you do business with that wants to take you out for a policy. They go behind your back and talk to your people and convince them, hey, we can put this amount of money on this person in a life insurance policy that they know nothing about, and we could just set it up to make it look like an accident. We'll do what we do, get this person out of here, and then we'll just split the money amongst whoever's involved. So there's lots of scenarios. I think it's absolutely terrible that that's the world that we live in. But it's a lot of people out there, man, that are not to be trusted. I don't care. You just shit. I'm around motherfuckers I can't trust all the time, and I just feel bad that how did I end up? becoming a man in a world where I'm constantly around people I can't trust, even strangers, you know, even strangers. So, maybe I'll make another video about trust later and how important trust is and being alert to people that you start to understand ain't trustworthy. You know what? I will make a video about trust. I just don't know when. I already had a video that I made. I was going to post it today, but I rewatched it and I didn't like it. I had to delete it because I wasn't happy with it. So I got to redo that video, but I got to come with a fresh one too. So maybe that'll be the plan, is to come with a fresh one. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, in between time, the goal right now is to live a better, healthier lifestyle and stay away from a lot of the stuff that we know is hurting us, like fast food and sugar and processed foods and shit that will cause you to have parasites and or cancer, right? We don't want cancer. Fuck cancer. Cancer is not our friend, but you gotta just you everybody has to do their own, you know, part in, what it takes to be healthier, man. I started eating more fish a couple months ago. I started making it a point to where when I went to the grocery store, one of the meats I would buy was fish, you know, and then I would also prepare them, you know, in a healthier way instead of just always doing the same kind of fish fry and grease and breading and all of that. Sometimes you could just bake a fish and it'll come out good, eating more tuna fish. Me personally, I like chunk light tuna fish because it has less mercury in it. A lot of people like that solid white albacore, which has the highest level of mercury. And you can't eat too much of that. It'll make you feel bad. But me personally, I like not a big fan of salmon. It's good depending on who cooks it, but fish for me is something I can only eat occasionally. I couldn't eat fish every day of my life. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, tuna melts are good. I've had a few, but I like stuff like that. Tuna casserole, you know, uh tuna salad, tuna fish sandwich. I'm one of those kind of guys who can eat tuna right out the can. I just squirt a little bit of mayonnaise and mustard in there, kind of stir it up, add a spoonful of relish, and I don't even need bread. I eat it without bread. And very, very good. Very, very good. As a matter of fact, when I end this live, um I'm gonna go make a grilled cheese sandwich. I make a grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is good, bro. But even though American cheese is good, I still like my daughter's mom be buying the real cheese. Like that's one thing I like about her. She gets real cheese, not that low level peasant food shit to where they put sawdust in the damn cheese to preserve it. She goes and gets blocks of the real deal. So when you melt that shit down, you're eating real cheese and it's good too. And she likes 4 or 5 different types of real cheese. Like I've seen her go to the store and get the real block of mozzarella cheese, the real block of Parmesan, not the craft version in a can, but like an actual block of Parmesan that you got to grade yourself. You cannot beat that with any hammer. So I started to have a better appreciation for cheese because, you know, no pun intended, but cheese is grated. No pun intended, man. Cheese is grated. They got good cheese, they got fake cheese, and they got okay cheese. The people that eat the real good shit, and cheese got vitamins in it too, depending on what it is. It's got vitamins. But then again, I seen some disgusted cheese out there. Man, there's people that eat cheese halfway around the world that's got maggots and shit crawling on it. And if you zoom in with a microscope, it's still got little bugs on it. And man, them people eating that shit like it's going out of style. And I'm sitting here like, bro, ain't no damn way. Ain't no damn way. But yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? That is wild. Who wants to sit there and eat aged moldy cheese? But then it's just like cured meat though, that people like to hang up in dry spaces. It gets this crusty mold around it, and then you just cut that off of it, and then the meat is aged under it, but it's like beef jerky at that point. It's real salty, and then they still cook it and eat it. I'm like, bro, they got the same they got the same with fish too though. You can if you go to places like France and Germany and shit like that, you can buy that fish that's pretty much it's rotten fish, but it's good to them. They like to go out because you don't want to open that shit inside your house. You got to go outside to open it, and it smells terrible. But I don't know. Like before, when I didn't know no better, I used to hate sauerkraut. That was the worst shit ever. I never understood how people could put sauerkraut on hot dogs. It was the weirdest thing. Like that shit is so nasty, and you're gonna put it on your hot dog. I used to think I compared that to rotten fish or something, right? But now I like sauerkraut, but I eat it different. That's why, because sauerkraut helps the bacteria in your gut get to the right level. So now I'll buy sauerkraut and just eat it right out the jar. I don't need to put it on any food. I just munch on it like they're pickles and shit, right? But it's good now. But back when I was younger, I couldn't stand sauerkraut. I was like, ain't no way. So I like it now though. And you know a thing about sauerkraut is you can leave it in your fridge for a long ass time and it'll still be good. You don't have to like, oh my God, Jay Biggs, where have you been, bro? Jay Biggs been missing in action. You don't know what is sauerkraut? You don't know what sauerkraut is? You know what I like? I like sushi. I don't know what a laughing disco is. Oh, just look it up, man. Sauerkraut. I can't tell you how to spell it, but I would just say it the same way you hear me saying it. If you got an iPhone, be like, "Hey Siri, what is sauerkraut?" I'll tell you what it is. It's like some fermented type of um it's like it's like fermented lettuce or some shit. But I like sushi, but you know what I like to go do with like if you go get the California rolls, it comes with like that fake wasabi shit, the radish sauce, the horseradish, but it also has that little ginger or it's either ginger or it's like cabbage, pickled cabbage. Oh man, I could eat that shit all day. Very tasty, very good. But yeah, sauerkraut is something they put on hot dogs. It's like stringy. It tastes pickled. They have different flavors of it, but it's like in vinegar. Some people like it, some people don't. There's nobody in here like that. I used to do that a lot, like and subscribe. I used to do that a lot, but there's only two people showing. And so I'm pretty sure those two people are already subscribed and they've already liked the video. So, it's weird. When I first come in the room, the live takes me to all kind of people. Like it can go all the way up to 30 people and then it'll drop to nothing, right? And then after about a couple hours into the video, it won't go up like that no more. It'll just be like 3, 4, 0, 5, 6, 4, 3, 0, 8, 7, 5, 2, 1, 0. Then it'll stay 0 for a minute. Then it'll jump up to 2 and then 4 and then 6. When I first started doing these lives, man, I was getting 1,000 views a night. Now I barely get 300 because the algorithm just ain't recommending my channel. It's not really pushing it. It used to push it, but it don't push it now. Um, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's 11 o'clock here right now, and I got about another 20 minutes left, and then I can call it a night. I'm actually kind of tired still. I don't know why I'm so tired, man. But in about 20 more minutes, I'm gonna call it a night on this live, and then probably do another one around 5 p.m. tomorrow, 5 or 6. Get in a little bit earlier. So Melanie, be looking for that. Um, I might announce it shortly within like a couple hours of what time I'm gonna choose. I might just put it on my community post, or I'll go ahead and throw it on a short video. Short videos usually do fairly decent views, good enough. I've never had nothing over 2,000, but um, if I drop it a little short and say, "Hey, tune in at this time." Only reason I don't though is because I feel like people that announce their lives must have like a big show going on where a lot of people gonna attend. When my night settles down, it may only be 3 or 4 people in my live video. So it's like, I don't need to announce and do all this extra stuff just for 2 or 3 people to attend. I just will tell like you tonight, Melanie or Jay Biggs, that most likely I'll go ahead and do a live, you guys. So be looking for it around after 5 o'clock p.m. my time. And since your live, I mean your time zone, Melanie, is the same as mine, then you know if I say 5, it's your same time too. So you don't have to like fast forward or rewind your time zone to see. Like for example, people in California right now, it's only 8 o'clock in California, but here it's 11 o'clock. It's a 3-hour difference. So just be looking for one after 5 tomorrow, maybe a little bit before 5, depending on how I feel, if I'm ready. And we'll go from there. But like I said, I look at what I talk about and I don't like have any set program with my lives. I'm not teaching any class. I don't have any like major things to talk about. So I don't need to make any major announcements for that. It's more of like a word of mouth thing. I'll tell you now to get ready for tomorrow. But I know a lot of you guys now, you just wait for the icon to light up and you get a notification. So that's why I really don't ever need to say nothing, because the notification, will let you know, hey, T got the recipe is live right now. And then you just come on in or whatever. But it would be nice to have a few hundred people watching. But, when it comes to me, a lot of people got ego and pride. So they feel like they're too good to watch what I'm talking about because they've been told that they were better than me. And I know that's the case, but I don't care, right? Because I'm a good person, man, and I'm real smart and I know a lot of stuff. And I've been teaching people my whole life. And if you tapped into one of my lives a few months back, I was saying how this has been my reality since I was a kid that, people have always came to me for advice and insight. Even when I was a youngin', I used to get a lot of people, my friends, even sometimes strangers that would just come to me and ask me for my help. Now, mind you, I didn't know if they were energy harvesting or just trying to use my style, but that's always been a thing for me, man. I knew I was the gifted person from way back. Like I could feel it in my bones that, I'm a gifted person. I know I'm special over a lot of folks. I never needed to be told. I could just always feel that was the case. Not to mention how people that I thought were better than me used to come to me for advice. I can't even tell you how many times, even on street issues, I'll just be standing there in a group while cats is talking and I don't have no intentions on side butting into the conversation because it'll be about something serious. And then out of nowhere, these cats that I look at as way more important than me will stop and they'll turn to me and say, "Hey, T got the recipe, man. What do you think about this situation?" And so I got to voice my opinion, and it was usually a very, a keen, insight and opinion. And like over the years, I started to understand that people care about what I think about shit. Like people actually seek out what I think to make their own judgment because they, like a lot of people who know me, know I have a level head and a very keen eye. And so, I just started appreciating that. And so it's part of the reason I started my channel is I had a lot of good information inside of this head of mine that needed to get out. And so, that's why I make these lives, right? They don't just be about nothing, but it's exciting in my opinion because I don't know what it's going to be about. When I start the live, I like to go off the vibe of the subscribers and the people that join. And if someone asks me one question, I can run off that question for 2 hours. But I know there's going to be more questions, or it ain't even always a question. Sometimes people come and I'll be talking about something and they'll add to it, and the dynamic will just change on its own. And the next thing you know, we go from talking about cancer to, you know, talking about how to, you know, you know, build a motorcycle motor or just anything. It don't really matter what it is, but that's why I like my lives. But ever since my numbers started dropping, I was like, for real, like less and less motivated to do these long ass lives because, like, my numbers, I was looking at them too much and I was just like affecting myself because I feel like if my lives don't reach a certain amount of people, then like I don't want to do live videos because all of a sudden, it appears that it's not worth it, but it really is, right? I just feel that way. It's always worth it because, even though YouTube will limit your reach, they'll definitely limit your reach and they won't show it to the whole YouTube space. I don't know if it's the actual people at YouTube or the algorithm, but whatever it is, it just won't reach the crowd that I want it to reach, but it reaches far enough, you know what I mean? All I got to do is keep putting my content out there. And at some point, I'm across this critical threshold of your channel starts creating its own energy. But with 400 and almost 70 videos, that ain't good enough. If you want your channel to create its own energy, you got to like make thousands of bangers. Like there's creators that's got thousands of videos and they kind of create their own energy, at that point. You don't have to keep dropping stuff. You could take a break for a while, but right now it's all work mode. I'm not finna slow down until I'm close to 1,000, whether it's through my live videos, my shorts. I'm not trying to make the amount of shorts that I used to make because short videos are good. They get views, but they affect your reach and they affect the algorithm because believe it or not, a long form video and a short form video are two totally kind of different videos. And there are people that like long videos and there are people that like shorts. So if you have a channel that's full of short videos and you jump on a live for 3 hours and someone subscribes because they like sitting down and listening to one creator for an extended period of time, and then one day they just decide to go to your page to see all the stuff you got, and it's just a bunch of short videos, that person might unsubscribe. Because if they watch all your lives and you have no videos and you have a bunch of shorts, they may watch the shorts, but as soon as they watch the shorts, they're either going to unsubscribe or they'll stay subscribed, but they won't watch nothing else. So YouTube is a strange, complex space and platform that it takes a long time to perfect. And the bigger creators understand what I'm saying, but they got all kind of resources to make the best stuff. Me, I really don't. I don't even have access to good editing right now. I would love to make a video that I could edit out the parts I don't want and then add in other, but like, I'm not at that point yet. I still need to get a computer, a reliable computer, and an editing program that I paid for that is really good to where I can just, because I already know how to edit and do all that kind of shit. Like I know how to do all that. I just don't have the tools. I need to go get a computer, a laptop. I don't need a studio. I just need a computer, my phone, and maybe another phone. I enjoyed cooking burgers. Yeah, yeah, I will. I will. I just need a. The thing about a short is that's exactly what it is. I need to do a live video, or maybe you guys can get on my community board and post and say, "Hey, we want to see you cook this," or "Hey, we want to see you cook that." Because I guarantee this. This is the good part. When I cook something, it ain't just gonna be the same shit you cook in your house, because that wouldn't be interesting. Like, damn, this dude, who's gonna tune in to watch this person cook the same exact thing that we can cook ourselves? Well, you'll be surprised. Entertainment comes in many forms, and some people don't care. They could have had hamburgers that same exact day, but they still want to see someone else cook them because it's satisfying to them. So that's another reason I decided to do content is it really doesn't matter, if you have an understanding of how the world works. People want options, bro. People want options. And even if my shit is not the most exciting as content in the world, people still want options. They want to be able to have a list of creators that they watch, people that are consistently on a normal basis putting out whatever they put out, and they just want to kick back and watch. Because a lot of times I've heard people tell me that my voice is comforting to listen to, and because of that, they could sit up here and listen to me talk for hours, even if I ain't talking about shit. So that's another reason, that I make my little videos. But I still try to make sure they're about something. I mean, I wouldn't dare get on here and just make absolute garbage that ain't about nothing, because that wouldn't make no damn sense, in my opinion. So I still make my stuff count. I still try to be insightful and come with some information that is knowledgeable and all of that. But you know, I still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? I still got a lot of work I need to do. But, we're getting there one day at a time. It's no big deal, but I probably won't be ramping up the lives anymore. I'm just doing this one long tonight because I'm trying to finish up my week of all the stuff I dropped this week. Plus, I haven't did a live in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? Well, the trolls leave me alone these days, Melanie. And you know why? The trolls be trying to troll me, but that shit don't work on me, man. And I don't even do it on purpose, but motherfuckers try to troll me and I end up trolling them because they don't know that I used to be a troll myself. So I know how to troll really good. Like you ain't gonna troll me, motherfucker. You ain't gonna troll me or control me, you know? But I used to troll a lot. You feel me? And when I troll in such a way where if all you're gonna do is talk shit, you're gonna get destroyed because I do more than just talk shit. I'm gonna destroy your ass in a nice way, and everybody gonna be laughing at you. And some people try to get at me on my level, which is stupid because, bro, I'm the kind of person where I'm a smart troll. I'll talk to you like a doctor and make you feel small, but I don't know why you're so upset because that's what you're trying to do to me. You're trying to make me feel small and insignificant, but now you're even more upset because I do it better than you, and you're supposed to be the troll. So how does the creator turn into the troll? I don't know. This is a strange situation. I agree. But either way it goes, if you try to troll me, I'm a troll back. I don't want to troll because this is the type of shit I like to talk about. But like, I can get on any level, and that's what makes me dynamic, and that's also what makes me a good creator, and that's why I can't, I can't stop. Well, you see, there ain't been no trolls in here tonight, right? Just a few, because they don't want that smoke with me, man. They don't not want that smoke. That dude ICG comes in from time to time. He ain't ever talking about nothing. All he's ever trying to do is make himself feel better than me. That's why he talks about his cars and he's tough and he's from the hood and all this bullshit that he knows I don't care about. Now, if I was in my 20s, I'd probably care about it, but I'm in my 40s, brother. That shit don't mean nothing to me. Everything you say on the trolling level is garbage. You ain't gonna get to me by trolling because I don't care. People try to do all that. So I'm black and white. My mom was white, my dad was black. Allegedly, that's what I was told, but the guy that I believe to be my father is not on my birth certificate. So I don't know who my real father was because my mom didn't she didn't tell us before she passed away. So my dad could be anybody, but I believe I know who my real dad is. And I believe I've met him and I know exactly who he is. But, at the same time, he decided that he didn't want to be placed on a birth certificate. So my mom had no choice but to make up a motherfucking name to put on there because she knew what I now know, which is the guy that I was led to believe was my father is not my father, in fact, because I don't look nothing like this motherfucker, right? But my half brother that's doing all that time in prison, he looks exactly like my dad. But, you know, um, my life has been filled with secrecy, lies, and keeping stuff away from me for many years, right? And that's ultimately why it led to me being gang stalked and poisoned and all this bullshit because the kind of family that I have, you know, I was what you call a sacrifice. I'm still trying to get more information on exactly what does it mean to be a sacrifice? How does it happen? How do your parents end up putting you in that position to where you're just an innocent baby boy? You feel me? And being an innocent baby boy turned into all this bullshit to where you started being a target. They trying to take you out. They trying to poison you. They trying to take your money from you. They doing all this shit, sending in fake lovers and having you work at all these bullshit ass fake jobs to where you get targeted while you're trying to make money, and and then if they can't control you the way that they want, they just take everything away from you and tell you you're done and make you feel like you did some dumb shit and you know damn well you didn't do anything, and always trying to target your self-esteem and your self-confidence and make you feel like you're a piece of shit demon when in fact they are, and just all this bullshit. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna be a content creator because at this point, what else can I do, man? I'm just gonna go on here and I'm gonna tell my story and I'm gonna show the world how intelligent I am, even if I never graduated, I never been to college. I'm a well-rounded individual. I'm solid. I'm the kind of friend that you want, and I know a lot of stuff. And if the motherfucking stupid ass witches and the warlocks of the world can't admit it, I don't need you to. But one thing you will never do is target my self-esteem or my self-confidence. You will never belittle me. You will never play with my intelligence. You won't do shit to me that I won't do to myself. So that's where I'm at with it. And that's why I like doing this content. And that's why I'll troll the shit out of a troll because I've been trolled all my life by fucking invisible haters and secret agents and all these different people a part of these cults that for a long time I didn't even know I was getting trolled. I didn't even know I was being targeted. But once I realized it, they released the beast inside of me because now I'm a cold motherfucker and I'm gonna keep being that way for the rest of my life. And I ain't scared neither of nothing. I'm not stupid neither though. And if I sense danger, I'm gonna handle it accordingly, just like my angels taught me how to do. And a lot of these dudes are puny anyways, and the only reason they act the way they act is because they know that they're protected by a secret society and they gotta hide behind darkness and fucking secrets. And they know that I know who they are. That's why they like to troll. But you know what? I scared a lot of these motherfuckers away because they don't want to get exposed. And you know what? If I was a piece of shit, I wouldn't want to get exposed neither. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst thing that a piece of shit could ever do is get exposed, and I don't want to do it, but that's a part of the reason I started the channel is like, hey man, if I got to do this shit, it ain't going to change my fate, it ain't going to change my situation, but what it will do is enlighten people and it will help me enlighten myself and feel better about being the motherfucking sacrifice, right? That's what's gonna make me feel better about my condition that these fuckheads put me in, is create this content and put it all out there so I can sit up here and I can fucking enlighten myself and I can unload so I don't feel all tensed up, you know, by life itself and all these fuckheads, and I can give everybody my point of view. But one thing I'm gonna tell you what I am lacking though, Melanie, is I still don't know how to express myself fully because I always had a problem with that. I used to be real timid when I was a youngster. I didn't do a lot of talking. There was a point in my life where I didn't hardly talk at all. So now that I talk a lot, it's kind of hard to express myself the way I want because I can't articulate everything the way I want to articulate it because it's like sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth. And so that's another reason that I like to get on these lives and I like to just put it all out there, and then like some people are going to love it, a lot of people are going to hate it. But one thing I can say is that it's gonna be mandatory for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be working on this channel because I got to, man. They really did me wrong. And you know what? I'm not complaining because I know a lot of people got done wrong the same way as me. Like just wrong for no fucking reason at all. And then they blame it on the fact, oh, well, you're chosen, and we target the chosen because we're just so evil that that's just what we do because we want everybody like us. And if you're not like, fuck you, bitch. That's the that so I'm being targeted over some shit I was born with that ain't got shit to do with nothing that I done. And I know that now, right? I done been in fake relationships behind this shit. Motherfuckers try to really sacrifice me, and I ain't going for it no more. I'm not going for it ever again. They unleashed the beast, and I believe in my heart that they still ain't seen nothing yet. That's what I believe. Oh man, I'm finna go as hard as I can, especially if I'm unable to make money ever again. I can't go get a job because they won't hire me no fucking where. Okay, well, that's all right. I guess then I'm gonna have to get it the hard way like I used to. But I guess I'm gonna have to worry about being homeless for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna have to sleep couch to couch and all this bullshit I never had to worry about till recently. All because why? There's a secret society that call me their enemy. Man, that's some crazy bullshit, and it's super petty. But you know what? I don't control the board. I'm just a piece on the game. So, with that being said, I'm finna end this live, and we gonna get back to it tomorrow after 5 o'clock, though. So,